Imagine discovering that the Chinese luxury car brand you just spent $75,000 on is collapsing, and neither the manufacturer nor your dealer ever warned you. Sales are plummeting, service networks are disappearing, entire model lineups are being discontinued, and owners are stranded, watching their vehicles lose half their value in months. Today, we're counting down the 10 Chinese luxury car brands that are on the brink of complete collapse in 2026. From failed global expansion to outright bankruptcy, leaving 100,000 owners stranded. And here's the shocking part. Number 1 was the most celebrated Chinese luxury brand ever created, and it's now completely dead. Let's start with a brand that's quietly being erased by its own parent company. Coming in at number 10 is Geometry, Geely's dedicated premium electric vehicle sub-brand launched in 2019 with legitimate ambitions to compete in the affordable luxury EV segment. The promise was compelling. Geely engineering quality, modern electric powertrains, clean Scandinavian-inspired design, all at accessible price points. The Geometry, a sedan launched at approximately $26,000 with 410 kilometers of range, genuine build quality, and technology that competed with anything from established brands. European automotive media praised it as proof Chinese automakers could build credible premium products. But here's the problem that killed Geometry before it ever had a chance. The brand existed in an impossible competitive position. Zeekr was already serving Geely's premium EV buyers with genuinely desirable products. Lynk Co was capturing younger demographics. BYD was overwhelming the value segment with superior range and pricing. Geometry occupied a confused middle space that generated insufficient enthusiasm from any specific buyer demographic. Sales tell the brutal story. Geometry peaked at approximately 38,000 units annually in China before collapsing to under 12,000 units by 2023. The brand never achieved the 100,000 annual unit threshold that Geely internal planning required for profitability. In late 2024, Geely announced they were merging the Geometry brand entirely into their newer Galaxy EV product line, effectively admitting that the Geometry identity had failed to resonate and would be discontinued as a standalone entity. Current Geometry. A and C model owners are experiencing a unique horror. Their vehicles come from a brand name that officially no longer exists. When a parent corporation publicly abandons a brand identity, a used buyer confidence destruction is immediate and total. Current market data shows Geometry A units selling at 58 to 64% below original transaction prices after just 2 to 3 years. A vehicle purchased for $28,000 now struggles to find buyers above $10,000 to $12,000. The long-term ownership nightmare is just beginning. Will Geely maintain parts inventory for discontinued Geometry-specific components? Will software updates continue for vehicles branded under a defunct name? Nobody knows, and that uncertainty is destroying any remaining resale value. Geometry didn't collapse from poor products. It collapsed from brand identity failure, and owners are paying the price. If a brand merger sounds manageable, number 9 proves that failed global expansion can leave owners completely orphaned in international markets. Number 9 is Lynk Co, and this collapse is particularly painful because the brand had every structural advantage. Lynk Co is Geely's premium lifestyle brand positioned between mainstream Geely and luxury Volvo. The products share Volvo's compact modular architecture platform, use Volvo engines, and benefit from Volvo safety engineering. The 01 PHEV delivers genuinely impressive performance with 261 horsepower, legitimate luxury interior execution, and unique subscription-based ownership flexibility. The brand launched with massive European expansion ambitions. Flagship stores opened in Amsterdam, Barcelona, Milan, and other major cities. The marketing positioned Lynk Co as a tech-forward lifestyle brand for urban professionals who wanted Volvo quality without traditional luxury pretense. Initial reception was genuinely positive. European automotive journalists praised the 01 as excellent value combining Swedish engineering with accessible pricing. Then the collapse began. Lynk Co announced aggressive North American expansion plans in 2020 with confirmed dealer partnerships and substantial marketing investment. Those plans were delayed in 2021, then 2022, then 2023, before being quietly shelved entirely by 2024. The brand never officially entered the United States or Canadian markets despite years of promises. That left gray market import customers who paid premium prices for early 01 PHEV units completely orphaned with no official dealer network, no certified service centers, and no parts pipeline beyond routine maintenance items. Sales outside China tell the failure story. Lynk Co sold approximately 42,000 units in Europe in 2023, far below the 100,000 unit target the brand required for profitability. By 2025, European operations were being restructured with multiple flagship stores closing and the subscription model being quietly abandoned. The brand that was supposed to revolutionize car ownership became just another Chinese import struggling for recognition. Current 01 PHEV owners in markets where Lynk Co established presence are watching resale values collapse 42 to 47% in just 3 years. Vehicles purchased for $54,000 equivalent now sell for $31,000 to $34,000. But gray market buyers in North America face even worse situations. Insurance companies are declining comprehensive coverage on vehicles with no official manufacturer presence. Financing is nearly impossible. Resale to informed buyers is effectively zero because nobody wants to inherit an orphaned vehicle. Lynk Co proves that even legitimate Volvo engineering and premium products can't save a brand when the expansion strategy collapses and leaves customers stranded. Brand abandonment is terrifying, but number 8 shows what happens when a company eliminates its entire engineering department while still selling cars. At number 8, Neta from Neta Auto, and this situation represents a uniquely disturbing form of brand collapse where the company is still technically operating and selling vehicles while simultaneously gutting the core capabilities needed for long-term survival. Neta built genuine momentum between 2021 and 2023 as an affordable technology-forward EV brand. The Neta 5 and Neta U delivered competitive range, functional technology, and accessible pricing that attracted younger buyers. The brand sold over 60,000 vehicles in 2024 and established export operations across Southeast Asia, including serious expansion into Thailand, Indonesia, and Brazil. Then 2025 happened, and the situation deteriorated with shocking speed. Neta announced severe organizational restructuring with layoffs so dramatic that multiple Chinese automotive journalists reported the entire research and development department had been eliminated completely. Not reduced, not restructured, eliminated. When an automotive company eliminates its engineering team, there is no meaningful recovery path forward. Software updates stop. Planned feature rollouts cancel permanently. Future model development ceases. Safety system improvements end. The immediate ownership nightmare this creates is exactly what existing Neta customers are discovering right now. Over-the-air updates that should improve vehicle performance and add features simply stopped arriving in early 2025. The infotainment system that was competitive in 2023 falls further behind monthly with no development team to address it. Battery management software that needs ongoing refinement to optimize range and charging performance is frozen at 2024 capability levels. The Thai government injected emergency funding of approximately $215 million in early 2025 attempting to stabilize Neta's Southeast Asian operations. But automotive industry analysts widely describe this capital as insufficient to restore full operational capability or restart eliminated research and development functions. The brand exists in a bizarre zombie state, still selling vehicles in some markets while possessing no meaningful ability to support those vehicles long term. Current Neta V and U owners globally are experiencing the early stages of what WM Motor and Aiways customers suffered through before those brands completely collapsed. Resale values are beginning to deteriorate as word spreads about the R&D elimination. Insurance carriers in multiple markets are questioning long-term coverage. Neta represents the warning sign stage of brand collapse that owners ignore at their financial peril. Before we reveal number 7 through number 1, which includes brands that went completely bankrupt and left over 160,000 owners stranded, hit that subscribe button right now because you need to know which Chinese brands are actually safe to buy. Number 7 might surprise you because it comes from BYD, the world's largest electric vehicle manufacturer and a brand most people consider financially bulletproof. But Yangwang, BYD's ultra-luxury sub-brand launched in 2023, is experiencing a collapse that proves even massive corporate backing can't force luxury brand acceptance. Yangwang launched with genuinely outrageous products designed to compete against Rolls-Royce, Bentley, and Range Rover. The U8 SUV can literally float on water and do tank turns. The U9 supercar delivers 1,287 horsepower and revolutionary suspension technology. These aren't half-hearted efforts. BYD invested enormous engineering resources into making Yangwang technically spectacular. Pricing positions Yangwang firmly in ultra-luxury territory. The U8 starts at approximately $154,000. The U9 supercar approaches $233,000. For context, that's genuine Porsche Taycan Turbo S and Mercedes AMG GT pricing. BYD is asking luxury buyers to spend 6 figures on a Chinese brand most Western consumers still associate with affordable compact EVs. The sales results are genuinely catastrophic. Yangwang sold fewer than 4,000 total units in China during 2024, despite aggressive marketing and prominent placement in BYD's premium showroom network. International expansion plans for Europe and the Middle East have been repeatedly delayed with no confirmed timeline for Western market entry. The brand is burning enormous capital developing technology, showcase vehicles that almost nobody is buying. Industry analysts estimate Yangwang needs to sell at least 15,000 to 20,000 units annually to approach break-even on development costs. At current sales pace of under 400 units monthly, the brand is losing tens of millions of dollars quarterly. BYD's internal patience for subsidizing a vanity luxury brand is not unlimited, especially as the company faces intense price competition in its core mass market segments. Current Yangwang U8 owners who paid $154,000 for the floating tank-turning SUV are watching used market values collapse. Early 2023 units are now selling for $88,000 to $96,000, representing 37 to 43% depreciation in under 2 years. But the real concern isn't current depreciation. It's what happens if BYD discontinues Yangwang entirely, and those proprietary floating and tank turn systems require manufacturer support that no longer exists. Yangwang proves that even BYD's massive resources and manufacturing scale can't overcome luxury brand perception barriers when buyers fundamentally don't trust Chinese ultra-luxury positioning. Manufacturing scale couldn't save Yangwang, but number 6 proves early adopter faith can be destroyed when your own company makes your vehicle obsolete. Number 6 focuses on Li Auto's first-generation vehicles, including the original Li Auto 1 and early 2022 L9 models. And this represents a different type of collapse where the brand itself remains healthy, but early adopters are financially devastated by the company's aggressive product evolution. Li Auto is one of China's most successful EV startups with legitimate technology credentials, strong domestic sales, and growing international recognition. The original Li Auto 1 launched in 2019 as an extended-range electric SUV solving real problems for Chinese families. No charging anxiety, practical 3-row packaging, premium execution. It became China's best-selling new energy SUV by substantial margin. Early Li Auto 1 buyers paid approximately $46,000 equivalent and felt vindicated for supporting Chinese innovation early. Then Li Auto did something that destroyed every original owner's financial position. They launched the comprehensively superior L series including L9, L8, and L7 between 2022 and 2023. Every new model was dramatically better than the one in every measurable category. Better EREV efficiency, superior interior quality, advanced autonomous driving, improved safety systems, more technology for less money. The L series made the original one look like a development prototype by direct comparison. Current market data shows original Li Auto 1 units selling for 55 to 62% below purchase prices. Vehicles that cost $46,000 new are finding buyers at $18,000 to $22,000 after just 4 to 5 years. The early 2022 L9 models that launched at approximately $68,000 are now worth $38,000 to $43,000, representing 37 to 44% depreciation in under 3 years. Li Auto's product cycle moves so aggressively that owner equity destruction is systematic and predictable. The 2022 L9 buyer watched the refreshed 2024 L9 with comprehensively updated technology launch at a lower base price, immediately making their vehicle feel obsolete. This pattern will repeat with every Li Auto generation going forward. The cruel irony is Li Auto is doing everything right from a business perspective. They're innovating rapidly, responding to customer feedback, and delivering increasingly competitive products. But early adopters who funded that innovation journey are paying $25,000 to $30,000 for the privilege through catastrophic depreciation that exceeds any traditional luxury vehicle. Li Auto's success destroyed early owner equity, but number 5 proves that when the entire brand struggles financially, every owner suffers. Number 5 is Xpeng, the Chinese EV startup that generated enormous international media coverage as the Tesla competitor that would prove Chinese technology could match Silicon Valley. The P7 sedan launched in 2020 with genuinely impressive specifications: 439 horsepower, 4.3 second 0 to 100 km/h acceleration, 562 km NEDC range, and X-Pilot autonomous driving, marketed as superior to Tesla Autopilot. Early international buyers paid $82,000 to $91,000 equivalent, believing they were purchasing the future. The reality has been financial devastation. Current used market data shows 2021 to 2022 Xpeng P7 units selling for $34,000 to $41,000. Original owners paid $85,000 average and are receiving offers of $37,000, representing 56% value loss in under 4 years. But depreciation is only part of the Xpeng ownership nightmare. The X-Pilot system that Xpeng marketed relentlessly proved genuinely problematic in real-world conditions. Owners documented phantom braking events, lane-keeping failures in construction zones, and complete ADAS shutdowns in heavy weather. The software update cycle that Xpeng promised would continuously improve. Vehicles slowed dramatically by 2023 for international markets. Updates arriving monthly in China came quarterly or less for export customers. When they did arrive, They frequently introduce new bugs rather than fixing existing issues. Xpeng's financial situation is creating existential concerns. The company reported $1.4 billion operating losses in 2023, with cash reserves declining to levels that raised going concern questions among financial analysts. The brand launched the refreshed P7i in 2023 and all-new P7 Plus in 2024, with dramatically superior technology, better range, and lower base prices. That product evolution made first-generation P7 vehicles look like expensive beta tests that early adopters funded with their own money. The G9 flagship SUV launch in 2022 was so catastrophically botched that Xpeng's CEO issued public apologies and restructured the entire lineup within weeks. That kind of execution failure destroys brand credibility permanently for many potential buyers. Current Xpeng owners are trapped holding vehicles worth half their purchase price from a company whose long-term survival remains uncertain. Parts availability, software support, and warranty service all depend on Xpeng maintaining operations, which is not guaranteed given current financial performance. Financial struggles destroy confidence, but number 4 shows what happens when a brand reaches the edge of bankruptcy before getting rescued. Number 4 is Leapmotor, and this brand's story demonstrates how close Chinese EV startups can come to complete collapse before last-minute intervention. Leapmotor built genuine technology credentials with their vertically integrated approach, developing proprietary chips, camera systems, and powertrain electronics. The S01 Sporty Coupe and T03 City car attracted buyers who believed in the brand's engineering philosophy. Early adopters paid $19,000 to $29,000 equivalent for first-generation units between 2019 and 2022. Then Leapmotor nearly died. By mid-2023, the company was burning through cash reserves at unsustainable rates with sales volumes far below break-even thresholds. Industry analysts openly questioned whether Leapmotor would survive through 2024 without emergency capital injection or acquisition. The brand was spiraling toward the same fate as WM Motor, Aiways, and other bankrupt startups. In late 2023, Stellantis acquired 21% stake in Leapmotor for $1.5 billion and established an international joint venture for global distribution. On paper, this looked like salvation. In practice, it created an orphaning catastrophe for every early Leapmotor buyer. The Stellantis partnership repositioned Leapmotor entirely as an export-focused brand targeting international markets with new products developed under joint venture oversight. Early generation S01 and T03 units built before this strategic transformation now exist in corporate purgatory. The brand is technically growing and increasingly well capitalized, but those specific early vehicles have no upgrade program, no meaningful support, and no path forward within the new structure. They compete directly against Leapmotor's current generation products that are vastly superior and competitively priced. Current market data shows 2019 to 2022 Leapmotor S01 units selling for 58 to 67% below original prices. Buyers who paid $26,000 are receiving offers of $8,500 to $11,000. The T03 City car has collapsed even further, with 3-year-old examples worth less than $5,000 despite original $19,000 pricing. Leapmotor early adopters paid for the company's expensive near-death experience and subsequent rescue. The Stellantis capital saved the brand, but did absolutely nothing for owners holding obsolete first-generation vehicles that Leapmotor has zero incentive to support. Near bankruptcy is terrifying, but number 3 through number 1 are brands that actually died, leaving owners completely stranded. Number 3 is Aiways, and this collapse is particularly devastating because Aiways pursued aggressive international expansion, targeting sophisticated European buyers before imploding completely. The U5 and U6 are technically excellent vehicles with modern design, genuine engineering sophistication, competitive range, and real technology credentials that attracted serious European automotive media attention. Early European adopters paid approximately $44,000 to $54,000 equivalent, believing they were supporting a genuinely promising brand positioned for global success. Then Aiways essentially ran out of money, and the deterioration was shockingly rapid. Production slowed dramatically, key executives departed, European distribution partnerships that gave international buyers confidence collapsed entirely. Official service network access became unreliable in markets where international units were sold. Over-the-air software updates stopped arriving. By 2024, Aiways had effectively exited meaningful operations in international markets where most export units were operating. Current used Aiways U5 values in European markets have collapsed 65 to 72% from original transaction prices. Units purchased for €40,000 equivalent are finding no interested buyers above €11,000 to €14,000. But the financial loss isn't the worst part. The practical ownership reality is genuinely terrifying. One German owner documented attempting warranty service for infotainment failure. 3 months, multiple service visits, 0 resolution because the authorized center was waiting for technical guidance from a manufacturer that stopped providing it. Aiways owners discovered that buying a Chinese EV from a brand in financial distress isn't just losing money on depreciation. It's potentially purchasing a sophisticated technology product that becomes progressively less functional as software falls behind, parts become unavailable, and support infrastructure quietly disappears. The approximately 15,000 Aiways vehicles delivered internationally before collapse represent 15,000 owners learning this lesson the hardest way possible. Their vehicles still drive, but critical systems requiring manufacturer support are failing with no resolution path. Aiways left 15,000 owners stranded, but number 2 is 10 times worse. Number 2 is Leapmotor, also known as Weltmeister, and this represents the largest Chinese EV bankruptcy measured by affected owners. Leapmotor was one of China's most credible EV startups, backed by Baidu, endorsed by major investors, and generating genuine commercial traction. Between 2019 and 2022, they delivered approximately 100,000 vehicles. The EX5 SUV was practical and well-built. The W6 featured genuinely innovative automated parking technology. Early buyers paid $32,000 to $46,000 equivalent for vehicles they had every rational reason to trust. Leapmotor filed for bankruptcy in October 2023, and the impact on those 100,000 owners was immediate and catastrophic. The vehicles depend heavily on cloud-connected services for navigation, over-the-air improvements, remote management, and the W6's signature automated parking. Following bankruptcy, owners began experiencing system glitches, with experts warning unpatched bugs could eventually brick vehicles if critical software issues go unaddressed. Current Leapmotor used values have collapsed 70 to 80% from original prices. EX5 units that cost $38,000 equivalent are finding no buyers above $7,000 to $9,000. And even those transactions are rare because informed buyers understand the ongoing software risk. The automated parking feature that justified premium W6 pricing stopped functioning reliably. Navigation databases froze at bankruptcy-era maps. Critical vehicle systems requiring manufacturer cloud infrastructure are failing with no support available. The 100,000 Leapmotor owners globally represent the single largest stranded customer base in Chinese EV startup history. Their cars still physically operate, but the smart technology that justified purchase prices is dying in real time with no manufacturer remaining to support it. 100,000 stranded owners is catastrophic, but number 1 combines spectacular luxury with the most dramatic failure in Chinese automotive history. Number 1 is HiFi from Human Horizons, and this collapse represents the absolute worst-case scenario for Chinese luxury brand ownership. HiFi wasn't just another EV startup, it was automotive art. The HiFi X featured gullwing doors, parametric exterior panels that mechanically reconfigured, programmable LED displays spanning the entire rear fascia, interiors with refrigerators and champagne holders. This was China's attempt to create a genuine ultra-luxury brand competing against Bentley and Rolls-Royce. Early buyers paid $95,000 to $110,000, believing they were purchasing the future of Chinese automotive luxury. In February 2024, Human Horizons suspended production due to funding shortfalls. By August 2024, the company filed for pre-bankruptcy restructuring with debts exceeding assets. For HiFi X owners, the devastation was immediate and total. Current market values for HiFi X units have collapsed to $18,000 to $24,000. Owners who paid $103,000 have lost $79,000 to $85,000, representing 78 to 82% depreciation. But the financial loss is only part of the nightmare. The HiFi X is a technology showcase with proprietary systems requiring manufacturer support. Those gullwing doors operate on custom hydraulics. The parametric body panels need cloud infrastructure. The programmable displays require ongoing software. None of that exists anymore. Owners are documenting doors that won't open, systems throwing error codes with no fix available, and vehicles becoming progressively less functional as time passes. The HiFi collapse affected approximately 8,000 global owners who paid ultra-luxury prices for vehicles from a company that promised to become China's Rolls-Royce, and instead became the most spectacular Chinese automotive bankruptcy in history. These 10 Chinese luxury brands prove that collapse in this market segment isn't gradual decline. It's catastrophic value destruction, sudden bankruptcy, and complete abandonment of customers who trusted the brand promise. From Geometry's quiet absorption to HiFi's spectacular explosion, owners are learning that Chinese luxury brand risk is genuinely existential. Which collapse shocked you most? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if this saved you from financial disaster, hit subscribe because next week we're revealing which Chinese brands are actually safe to buy in 2026.